Saturday Showdown, Nongshim Red Force versus DRX.
And they'll get the Leona too. So what is going to be played here with this Kai'Sa bottom lane is the real question, because Alistar is the classic, right? Like, it's the only one that's left. It's been historically decently strong into Leona, because you could just knock up the Leona when she goes in for the engage and try to make those trades happen.
We'll see if they can find that dive that they're looking for a little bit later on in the game. But guys, you're ready to jump onto the Rift here for game number 1 right now.
You have a really strong front line in this K'Sante. Sure, they have the Skarner as well, but you have poke. And yes, Ezreal can somewhat relatively poke back, but you have the Void Seekers and you have the Nidalee Spears.
So Alistar at level 1, they're trying to take advantage of this. Andel doesn't even press his button. Might not have skilled anything up, maybe not expecting them in the brush just yet. But you would expect with the weakness of Alistar that you and Guger should be able to put on some pressure here early on. And they are going to be pushed in here. Definitely, oh, they're going to go in on this one. And as you mentioned, Andel just going to get that knock-up immediately. Did go for the Q first.
Pacing-wise, got some wards. Here we go again.
Yeah, Leaper going to get hit by a lot, but they are going to knock Guger into the turret. He has to flash away, and there's just full combo damage coming on in. The issue with this, though, is that even though Guger has to flash, a big amount of health is still left here for Jiu, and he can bully even 1v2 as long as he doesn't get too close to the sun. So, as speaking of Hex Flash, yeah, like Guger's, he's kind of getting in there. I don't know about this one. Not the best trade. At least Sylvie is here to trade it back on Andel. And now threatening quite a bit. Guger going to hit that Q, but we talked a lot about the Ezreal. It feels like he's benefiting the most from this early game so far.
Absolutely. Fight over the Scuttle now as Cuz is trading back. Guger isolated here on the left side.
Yeah, and he still doesn't have flash. He's taking a lot of damage here. The ult comes in, and Guger will survive. And Bulldog getting very close to the sun. He's going to go down, and it's Ziwu who picks up first blood.
And this Ezreal is already kind of on its way.
They're going to try to set up something here on a Dindin. The all-out does come out, and the Taliyah is nearby. Sylvie could wall up to the top side as this pull is going to come in the Impale. The amount of CC is crazy as Cuz is going to go down to Dindin. And look at this dude who's desperate. He finally takes out the Scorpion, but Sylvie still on the chase. It looks like with this K'Sante, he will just let him go, but
the scene where the grandmother has this lucky cricket and she like covers her eyes because the cricket is lucky and walks through the street and it's a disaster, but she walks out alive. Like, that's Guger for me right now.
Yeah.
All right, Dindin looking for the Impale, but guess what?
Oh, they're going in. Look at that. Jiu's going to get caught out. We're going to have to see how that trade even began, but seemed like Leaper found his moment. He was able to cleanse probably the Solar Flare or some kind of stun.
Here isn't item-wise so far ahead that it's not playable here. They're both at level 8. As he just goes in for the W.
So that's why.
Yeah. And then Leaper is able to very easily follow up with his killer instinct. They'll just clear the wave. Guger walks out. And Tristana left alone for just a minute here in the mid lane. Looks like Fisher with no teleport will lose a little bit of farm here. Bulldog not going to push the issue on plates as they want to go for round 2.
And flash as well. There's still nobody here. And Dindin, yes, he is Skarner. There is a 3-man Impale, but it's still the Alistar just tanking so many turret shots with his ult. And I mean, nobody else is there. He's still down a flash. They wrap all the way around to make sure he cannot escape. And it's just textbook. For some reason, that movie has just been one of the ones. This Leaper's in a lot of trouble here. He doesn't have his cleanse, and that's going to be the end of him. Very nice engage from the side of Guger and the rest of Nongshim to punish him, knowing he did not have his cleanse.
Yeah, without him here, I mean, this should just be a good Herald start. Jiu going to be able to push this lane in pretty easy.
Yeah, they do a good job of essentially just slowly taking an angle and pushing Nongshim
Andel
on. And now Andel's back in. Very nice flash. Gets the double knock-up. Sylvie in a bit of trouble as Leona is in the Rift Herald amongst all of this. And now the turn comes in as where are we going on the map? K'Sante going to bring Guger back and immediately goes down. It's a big fight for Nongshim. They take down 2. And Sylvie trying to make a hero play as well. Does get traded back by Leaper. And so that's a kill donated back over to Quantum Freak. Some low health bars here, and Leaper, full on health, still has the killer instinct and an opportunity. Dindin, though, is very scary.
Come on, Valdez. I think you're being too hard on him.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I mean, if it is successful and if it's a little bit more measured and maybe there is an angle there, like, you could champion that, but it definitely ended up backfiring in a huge way. Look at the shred.
Yeah, the flash, big one into Bulldog. and Bulldog is just on the run. We do have a Talia coming in. This time Sylvie gonna cut it short, just goes for Cuz, and that'll work out. Much better this time. They take down the Nidalee. Zhu nearly died to Leaper, who does not have his ult.
Yeah, really good job here of Cuz setting up these traps and then allowing this poke to chip away, but Dudu's on the flank too. This is very awkward for Nongshim. They have to decide, do we collapse on Dragon or do we push back onto this Cassante? Looks like they choose option B.
Well, they go for the Cassante. He is going to go unstoppable. Ando goes in once again. He sets it up, but is the follow-up? There's the question. Bulldog and Leaper doing some damage, but they can't take out Cougar. Now Bulldog's going to get low himself. Leaper on the run is going to send a W in and does get away. Here comes Jiwoo trying to punish on a Cuz alongside a Skarner. You can see trying to charge through the jungle as Cuz, the true shot barrage, he's going to get hit by it, but he still is going to live, probably through a heal in there in the darkness as well.
Zando's going for the long con flank, but is found out. And this looks like it might be Nongshim's first Dragon of the game.
Oh, we'll see about this one. They're going to collapse on a Sylvie. That's the smite of Nongshim. You can't let him go down for free as the true shot barrage not going to come in. And now we got another fight. A double impale coming in on a Bulldog and onto Cuz. Speaking of smite users, down will go Cuz. He's not going to be in there. Bulldog trying to go 1v4 right now. He is chipping away the damage. He's got a Cassante with him as well. They try to take out Cassante, but he gets a double kill. And Bulldog going to jump in and dies immediately. Leaper was somewhere in the mid lane. Now it's all up to him in a 1v3. Trying to go up against Fisher, tries to flash in, doesn't get the kill. And might just have to back off from here, but so many low health bars for Nongshim as well.
Barely the shield Dunda keeps him alive. Meanwhile,
yeah, we're fighting again. We got TPs coming in. Cougar. Oh, somehow that spear is gonna miss, and now Leaper gets in. Doesn't quite matter, as they will once again take down Cougar here. Zhu's gonna eat that W once again from the Kaisa, and yeah, Sylvie just can't get in. They're gonna have to give up the Baron. It goes to Guangdong Freaks in a 5v4 situation. Dundun as well. Might just look to get out of this one. The Impale's going to be thrown forward, but again, that was only onto Cassante. And Quantum Freaks just decide, okay, we don't have to overstay. We got the big objective. Let's back away. There's Leandri's on that as well, so some extra burn coming in. Cougar's going to eat one as well. And Nongshim just say, we got to start this up. We can't sit here. Oh, he's going to get hit by another spear. Jiwoo down to 30% health, 40% health.
The poke is unreal.
Yeah, it's just insane. And that's why Nongshim, they're just trying to force this Dragon because they can't stand here forever, but Ondil,
flash back up.
They're going to see him, and now they want to engage on this front line, but that is a Cassante, and now Ondil gets in, and it's a Mountain Soul for Guangdong Freaks. This might just be the game-winning fight. Leaper going into the back line with the killer instinct. He wants to end the game right here, right now, and he will, as Zhu will go down, and he picks up a triple kill. Dudu's going to steal one away. No Penta Hope. But Quantum Freaks, just like that, a massive team fight win.
Such a great team effort here as Cuz is in a little bit of trouble against the Skarner, but will ultimately win this long term. This is the spear. But I think that is just really going to be a consolation prize for Dindin is walking out with his life as Guangdong Freaks have this game in the bag. Great coordination around setting up those traps. Yes, Nongshim clear the vision. Yes, they get to the pit first, but the poke is just too much for Nongshim to deal with, and Ando comes in with a big engage again. Guangdong Freaks, this team looks miles better than what we saw from them at the end of spring.
Yeah, it definitely does. Nongshim, shout out to them, you know, nice try. Definitely giving them a challenge here in this first game, but Guangdong Freaks once again.
Where he did very little damage this game, but he did Cassante things. He absorbed a lot of pressure, and he was constantly collapsing on the other side of the team fight. So you got Spears, Void Seekers on one side, you got a beefy Cassante on the other. Also, I think the Rel is fantastic for Guangdong's comp with the setup they have, so
guess what's really good into it?
Yeah, Alistair, which is what Andil played in Game 1, got my POG vote. And it's been one of his better picks this season.
We'll have to wait and see as we are ready to hop on the rift for game number 2. Yep.
It was in Busan, right? And
yep,
we haven't seen them really get back to that greatness for a long time, and I think the hope is, and always has been for Guangdong Freaks fans for the last year and a half, that these players who came up, Bulldog, for example, pretty huge edge here, not even using his barrier, and Zeri's on a 6-game winning streak. I'm looking at the way the draft functioned as a 5v5 team, like we talked about that a lot there, but in terms of the early game as well, I think Guangdong have a lot of advantages here.
you think about the 280 carries and also, oh, here we go. This is what you were talking about. He gets tower aggro, and he is going to have to flash away. He is okay.
I can't believe this keeps happening.
Yeah, the issue is that Cuz is here as well, and there is a ward as well, but he's not going to respect the push once again. Dudu going to drop down the equalizer and try to run to Viego, and there's the Impale. It's just a kill. First blood going over to Sylvie. Cuz gets in, but not going to overstay his welcome here, so...
And that type of scenario. So heads up play from Sylvie coming over there, knowing the Rumble doesn't have flash, nor does Dundun, but they can work together to lock him down.
Jump on in there. And now Cuz, who has been kind of the objective meister here in this one, he is going to take down the Grubs, and now the first Drake much earlier in this game compared to the 12 minutes of last game.
Yeah, much, much faster. Same Infernal that they are going to pick up here, so very relevant stats. As Bulldog's going to come over here, see Sylvie. Cuz rotates over, looks like nothing's going to happen of it, but I want to point out that even with the cull buy here for Leaper, sticking it to the haters, I think, in a lot of ways, because their week 1 was pretty rough, but I think they've fixed a lot of their issues. Like, Cougar looked a lot better in game 2, although he did have his cricket moments.
Yeah.
Fisher's laning has looked better since Nongshim's first series.
Uh-oh.
Here's the all-in.
The all-in comes in, and Jiu just going to ult on top of him as well. The barrier has to be used here from Leaper and from Jiu. The flash Q comes in, and Leaper cannot handle the pressure from Jiu.
He had barrier, but it wasn't enough to save him. Up a level here.
He has Shiv, too.
And yeah, the Shiv is quite a significant spike here. He's able to proc it, comes in, has his own barrier too to trade with Leapers, and as a plasma stacks up, the Q is enough, and you can see the fadeaway walk back. He knows as soon as he presses Q and that connects, he's got the kill. And Mihail in the booth as here we go again.
Here we go again. This time the knock on the wall into the Impale. Dudu just has to flash to get out of this one. Needs some rock damage. And they're just going to trade flashes again.
Okay, Cuz is here, though, so if Dudu baits him...
Yeah, Equalizer's going to come down. He's just trying to push the wave as fast as he possibly can. Dudu must be sitting on a lot of gold right now. He still only has Swifties, so he's not doing much. Cuz already is sitting on a full item, and he will be able to help in getting the kill. Very nice dive. Nicely set up there from Dudu and Dundun, I would say.
Trying to set up for this dragon here, but a little slow.
Now, Gugar's going to also just get over the wall. That will go over to Cuz once again. Gets the smite down. Gugar with the Magnus Storm. He's eating a lot of damage, but that's a punch into the Rel. It might not matter as Cuz is going to go down. And now Sylvie wreaking havoc on this backline. Dudu in a bit of trouble, but Bulldog is really the guy on top who has the most health, potentially the most damage, but Sylvie is going to get in on that one. And he's not going to be able to do quite enough. Does go down to Ondil and Bulldog, and now Dindon's all alone. Gets the Impale, but it's not going to matter. That doesn't really matter if Leaper's not the guy this time around. They've got Bulldog, who's 2-0-1. They've got the Rumble, who has 3 kills, and is going to throw an ult into that wave as in comes Gugar, but Ondil is just so fantastic to buy some space and time here for his top laner, and will keep him alive.
There's no wave here either, so they can't even get the turret off of this play. I do think this is exactly how you have to play this draft out, though, with a fed Kai'Sa, and that being your real key win condition here as Nongshim, is to try to dive and set up single target plays on squishies like the Rumble. You have so much setup. Have the Magnet Storm, as Ondil might be caught.
Yeah, he doesn't have his ult, but he does have flash, so might, if he gets in trouble, elect to use that, but just is able to walk it off. Zeri and Viego there as well.
It's the Doos that are winning over the Duns in this one. As, I mean, that's quite common for a Rumble, but he shouldn't have that big of a lead.
Yeah. Okay, flash on in. Bulldog might be in some trouble. He's got the Kai'Sa nearby to help take him down. As the ult comes in and he gets another jump. Bulldog, how do you manage to get out of that? As the W might be coming in, and Skarner's on the chase as well. One rock not going to be in range, and Bulldog walks it off like it's nothing.
Flash used by Dindon on the play as well. Finds nothing. Bulldog doesn't even have flash. He still gets out with the ult. And now Cuz looking for more.
Oh. Okay, well, he's going to get the turret, and he's got some support here as well. Fisher, and now a TP coming in. Ondil gets into that backline. Fisher is just so dead as he had already flashed here. And now we get another charge with this Rift Herald. Yeah, smite it away. And Ondil is underneath the turret, so he's going to have to use that flash. They're still maybe going to get this turret, which is insane this early on. And yeah, they will. Leaper sticks around and takes down the mid inner.
So much money on that play, and it's just off Cuz saying, I'm driving in.
I do think the most confusing part of the draft, which I'm not going to get to talk about here, Bulldog is in a lot of trouble. Can he get out of this one is really the question, as I don't think so. He is a magician, and he nearly kills Dundun, but he is not going to get out this time around, as now the rest of the team is able to get in. He did a lot of damage, at least Bulldog, and now the rest of the team is here to punish as they take down the Skarner, they take down Cougar, and they're not done yet. They have tons of mobility. Zeri would love to continue, but with the Sun Turret, they're just going to back off of this one and maybe look for the Baron. Meanwhile, this bottom inner is also going to go down.
Tooth, that's very common to look for Poke, because Poke isn't going to bring you back into this one. You got a hard carry Jiwoo.
They're going in onto a Xin Zhao. Not the most common target, but he is a bit isolated, and the Viego loves to play into that. And will Heartbreaker, but it's not quite enough to take down Sylvie. Sylvie does get chunked out in a big way, though. I mean, that's the jungler, remember, and we got a dragon coming up in 30 seconds.
Uncontested, like so much farm lost there. Will finally be picked up by Dundun, but Bulldogs just come over and take the dragon solo while they contest Baron.
Yeah, guess you might as well. Nongshim might have read into that. They're trying to find some kind of a gauge, but you're a Rel looking at a Fed Rumble and an Alistair right there. You don't want to engage onto that. And now it's just going to be Cloud Soul over to the Kwangdong Freaks, just like that. Just with the posturing that's coming in, and Andil will find Xin Zhao.
It's not, he alone can't do it. His team has to set him up for success.
This is always the way it is, though. It's always you. Look at that fast cow just sprinting at the Xin Zhao. As they're pretty deep in here, now with the TP coming in, they're trying to engage on the Leaper, but he's actually so tanky, just able to get away, throws an ult on the Dundun. He's absolutely dead. Andil buying a lot of time. Meanwhile, Dudu is going ham in the back line, just roasting everybody to a crisp, as Sylvie as well should eventually go down here too. He's left all alone. No way to do it all by himself, and Kwangdong Freaks, just like that, pick up a clean ace. And Nongshim mostly grouped up. Fisher was just pushing out top lane, but it's going to have to come here as they make their final stand.
He has a teleport ward he could try to go to look for an Emperor's Divide angle, but he's just going straight to the turret. And that was like one angle they could have tried to go for, but it's the teleport ward's so far away, it would have just been collapsed on. Here's the ult.
Yeah, Dundun just kept in place, and he brings the cow into the back line. Oh no! As, yeah, Dudu's just gonna press his Q button and roast everybody once again. And Leaper as well going to assassinate the rest of the team. Dundun desperate to get out, and Leaper nearly dies, but he's got a shield bow and he will survive, as that will be the end of game number 2. It is a 2-0 for Kwangdong Freaks tonight over Nongshim.
This is a more depressing end, I would say, as double the damage here newly for Dudu, who has top damage in the game on the Rumble.
LCK Summer 2주차 첫
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Leaper and Andil on the side of Kwangdong Freaks, who just took a clean 2-0 victory against Nongshim. Congratulations!
네, 리퍼 선수 광동의 3연승 축하드립니다. 광동이 승리할 때마다
third consecutive victory for Kwangdong. And every time Kwangdong won so far, it looks like you two have always been a part of the POG interview. How do you feel, Leaper? Yeah, it makes me really happy that I get POG. But, you know, mid-top jungle also does really good. And I feel like I'm the only one who's keep getting the POG interview. I feel sorry for them. And Andil, you two, with 300 POG points, you guys are in a 3-way tie for first place in the standings. How do you feel? I feel the same way as Leaper. I feel like the top side of our map, our team, actually does really well. It's just that, I guess, in terms of making an impact, I guess bot just has been taking a lot more attention, so I think that's why we keep getting POG. And with the key player for today's match being the bot laner, there was a lot of attention on the bot matchup, so how was going up against Jiwoo? I've mentioned this over and over, but all the AD carries in LCK are really good, and I feel like I try to keep the same mindset. I respect my opponents, whoever whatever it is, and I try to just do my job. And in Game 1, your opponent played Ezreal, who just got buffed in patch 14.12. So how do you rate the newly buffed Ezreal? Really, ever since Amateur, I've always thought that I was pretty good at Ezreal, and a lot of people actually agreed with me, and I do believe that I have a good understanding of playing Ezreal and him as a champion, and I've always been putting in a lot of effort to whip Ezreal out, but I'm just a little sad that I didn't get to play today. So, can we expect your Ezreal play soon? Yes, you can see that. I hope that I can pull him out in the near future. And Zeri is now a 7-game winning streak with your victory today. So, how was the Kai'Sa-Zeri matchup? In terms of laning phase, Kai'Sa does win laning, but from level 6, because of how strong Zeri's ult is, you can get a lot of prio with Zeri, but I feel like I didn't really do well, and that's just another point that I have to reinforce for the next match due to my loss in the 1v1 against you earlier. And Andal, you played Alistar twice today, and it seems like Kwangdong Freak's strategy is to counterpick the support. So is it that you prioritize having a winning support matchup? So since AD carries is really 50-50, that's where we think that support matchup is what that actually makes the most difference. So I think that's why we always second pick support. And now that you've gotten back-to-back POGs with Alistar, we now picture Alistar when your name comes up. So what's so special about your Alistar? I don't feel like my Alistar is any different or special, but our head coach actually, not only for Alistar, he's been giving me a lot of good feedback, and through that I have grown as a player. And so up until today, Kwangdong has been continuously playing on the red side. So what is the core of red side drafting for your team? Well, first of all, rather than being a core, I think just the fact that we can take 2 good picks, I think that's a really big benefit. And at this rate, there's high expectation for a positive result ahead of you. And for your next opponent, for the 4th consecutive win, it's T1. So are you confident that you will continue with your momentum? T1 has such a deep history, and they're really good. I feel like there's a lot of things I learned from watching Kumayushi's stream. So as I have been doing, I want to be sure that I am prepared for the upcoming match. It looks like someone closed their business down today early to watch you play today. Anything you'd like to say to your fan? I feel like for my skills, I've been getting so much love, and I really want to be able to repay your love and support. So thank you so much. This is the fan that I mentioned. There's another fan that lots of fans have come today after finishing their classes and courses. So would you like to say anything? I want to make sure that we don't get complacent. I want to make sure that we also build everything up step by step to be successful in the future. Thank you. And that's the end of the interview from Leaper and Andal of Kwangdong Freaks, and back to the space. Thank you.